Hi, this is Rosemary Bonica,
Hi, this is Francis Patrick,
and
and
this
this is
is
a
the
safe
Safe Space.
space.
So, today we will be talking about green flags. The previous episode we did red flags, and in the spirit of positivity, we are trying to neutralize it, and we're going to be speaking about good stuff today.
Hopefully, because I have so few.
Yeah?
Kidding.
Okay. Yeah. Things, green flags you should be looking out for in a partner slash spouse. Yeah, these are neutral actually today. They apply for both male and female for my case.
Oh, I had a lot of female
Yeah?
because there is so many green flags for men.
Oh please.
No, true.
Come on.
I'm
Okay,
telling
you
you.
start since you have a lot.
No.
You start.
The ones I have, no, I have a lot, but the ones I have are very triggering because I need to be
You
very
start.
careful.
You start.
I start.
Yeah.
First green flag for ladies.
Yeah.
I don't know if this is something I find myself, and I'm not sure if every lady has this,
Eh.
but if she's financially responsible, it's a
When
green
I see a
flag.
stingy man
Nah, no,
trying to cover for his
no. It's not even about my money. It's just about her money.
Oh,
Okay?
okay. So
Yeah.
financially responsible with her money, not yours.
She'll be with mine, but if she's not with hers, she's not getting mine either. Okay? Financial responsible, she plans ahead, she has all details in place.
I think we should have added stingy men in the previous red flag episode.
Wait, I don't mean she has to be a miser, I just mean she has to, because the opposite of that is a woman who spends uncontrollably.
Okay.
That is a red flag.
Okay, I get
Okay,
it.
so she has to be responsible. Even if there's like a lot of money, she needs to know there is savings. She needs to know we invest this and this one we can spend entirely. She has to be
Yeah, but that
responsible.
does apply in both men and women.
The thing is, women end up being the financiers of our houses.
Really?
Wallahi. I might be making all the money, but I want her to be responsible.
But most women are financially responsible. Most wives.
Most is an overrated statement.
Most wives. Me, I feel like girlfriends tend to overspend money, and then when they finally have children and they have to take care of the house and run things, most of them become financially responsible.
No, those are made to be.
But obviously, I see where you're coming from because
Yeah.
honestly, you cannot be rich if you're not financially
Exactly. So
responsible.
if you meet her and she's financially responsible, you will likely get more money because she's managing what you have, so you make more. But if she's squandering the little you have, you're gonna be moving backwards. So it's a very and I don't think people have to become wives to become financially responsible because I've seen ladies who plan ahead. It is attractive. I don't say it though.
Okay.
You have to watch this episode.
Okay.
You're doing one.
One of the green flags I just thought of something else. I decided to note it down before I forget it because my mind. Okay, one of the green flags the greenest green for me, pasture green.
No man, it's an agreement.
A person who, men slash women, a person who has the fear of God. Hey guys, honestly, if you find a person that has the fear of the Lord, it will save you from a lot of shege. Because the way these people be acting in the street, sometimes you want to ask someone, do you know God? The way certain people ask, the way certain people ask certain things out of certain people, you want to ask the person, do you know God? Do you know Christ? So I feel like, I know for sure actually, that if a person has, by the way, don't confuse a person who is religious.
Thank you.
Or a person who is a regular attendee in church
Upon attendance.
And a person who has the fear of God, true fear of God. Those are two different people, by the way. Three, four different people.
And there's those who you don't know.
Yes, there are people who genuinely have the fear of the Lord. Those ones, if you get a person like that, if you get a woman who has the fear of the Lord, or a man, because men, of course, they are rarer.
I think men it's more important than men.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's because it's every. I'm not saying it's everywhere in women, but women have this thing with God, you know.
Yeah.
They have this thing. But if you find it in a man, it's important.
Yeah.
It's important.
Yani mtakuwa mmesave a lot of problems.
Uta reduce flags by 93%.
97 even.
Yeah, 97 even zitakuwa zimeshuka.
Yeah.
So the moment
because you won't even have to suffer trying to communicate most of the time because the spirit is already communicating with him. So you are just sure. Yeah. That is the greenest green. Next. Okay.
If there was a way to measure it, it was written here 2%.
Oh. Yeah.
But it is the trickiest thing to find.
Oh yeah, that is the thing.
Tricky. If it is there, it's there.
Know.
Sometimes there is so many versions of it. You don't know if it is really there or not.
These things, I feel like you just have to wait for. You just have to ask for the Spirit of the Lord to tell you that this person is. Otherwise, because the men that are in church,
you will be misinformed. Straight. Good luck. By the way. Those who are looking for this flag. Good luck.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, for women, this is a green flag. Man, I'm changing it. I'm saying something else.
I want to hear that one.
Let's start with if she is remotely supportive. Okay.
Why do you have to add remotely? Why didn't you just say if she's
I'm not saying entirely because again, being entirely supportive.
Okay.
You just met someone, you guys are considering to be in a relationship and she's entirely supportive. I don't think it's a good sign in the beginning. But if she's interested and she's supporting 1 to 3, she can do more. She doesn't have to be doing everything in the beginning. Wait, so you meet someone today and support everything they're doing?
That is a very it's a thin ice to trade on, because with men,
please say
you might find yourself supporting.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. Don't go all out in the beginning. Yeah, I'm supposed to be looking for signs that not that you are all supportive, but you can be supportive at times. And so, if I bring in my life the things that you'll find that you will be supportive of.
I have a point close to that. Actually, a point that I just thought of right now. If she or he is positive, have you you give them ideas and they look at the ideas in a positive light, rather than every time you're bringing up a financial idea, a spiritual idea, they are always negative. That is just so bad.
Cultivator. Kama nimesema hivyo na bado hujaelewa, paint your flag green. Paint it.
Yeah.
So that was mine. She has to be remotely supportive. Anyway, this one is triggering. Am I going next?
Yeah, you can do another one.
I think it's a green flag for ladies because this is your vice, but not all of this. Okay, but it's really good if a lady is not, if she's not tuned, or she does not really support gossip. Gossip, the sweetness of it, but she has to have a bias. Please, gossip is not a good flag. Gossiping is a leak.
I agree. I'm not disagreeing. I agree, but this one is, this thing with gossiping with your man.
That's cool. I think that's cool. By the way, people call it gossip, but I think it's a spicing up the space. That's cool.
You see, but that's gossip.
If she's gossiping with me, it's cool. Aye.
This one has double standard.
It is the same thing with everything else. Look at every green flag. If he or she's doing that with you, then it's cool. If they're doing it with everybody else, then that's red.
Of course. Me, I don't know. Yeah, the thing with gossip is that there's those women who really cannot. Gossip has it. But then if I'm diluting it, but to some degree, everybody gossips. I feel like to some degree, everybody's gossiping. Because what is gossiping? Gossiping is sharing information that is none of your business. Right? Like, you're not minding your business. That's good.
No.
What is gossiping?
I think the line goes further than that.
Somebody has done something. It's none of your business. But you're here carrying that information.
You
are going to tell it to your man.
Spicy.
That's gossip.
And you don't have to tell anyone, and they don't need to know, but you say it either way. That's gossip.
Yeah, everybody gossips now.
But I think there is levels.
Even men gossip. Actually, these days men are gossiping even more than women.
Anyway.
But okay.
Gossip is gossip.
I have another one. One of the I feel like this is very biased to me. One of the green flags for me is a person who is comfortable in silence. Yeah. I just like a person who you can have conversations, but they don't always feel the need to fill up the empty spaces with words. Like you can just sit. Basically, since I like quiet or silent men.
You hate noisy men.
Yes. This really, it's like just, yeah, we don't have to be talking all the. Actually, even my friends, I like when I'm with my friend. Sometimes I'm tired of talking. I'm tired. Okay, I love talking, but I'm tired. Like, you can just be sitting there, being on your phone. I'm sitting here, I'm on my phone, or you're doing your thing, I'm doing my thing, or I'm reading a book, you're doing your thing, and it's okay. And we're enjoying each other's. Actually, I have a thing where I like studying, and there's another person in the room, but they're not talking to me. Yes. I just don't want to be in the room alone. I just want to be with somebody, but I don't want them talking to me like I love the ability to be able to be comfortable in silence because there are people who always feel like
around you,
they have to talk. They have to try and
exactly. And if they talk, you have to keep the conversation going. Honestly, women, there is nothing more comforting for us. Sometimes you don't talk all the time. If you guys are sharing a space, this is not all the time. If you're sharing a space, sometimes we can see you. Sometimes we can spot you. Just not in front of my face.
You have issues. Guys have issues.
Sometimes because
you have issues.
We need the silence. Every man is gonna tell you this. Sometimes we need the silence.
No.
And we need to be. You just said something about being silent. You say no.
No. You said something about being in your space. That's different from silence.
My face is it. That means you're talking.
Okay.
Yeah, not that you're just talking. If she's here, she's very quiet sometimes. Not all the time, by the way. And you need to know which times. I mean those times that are those times. If it is something else, that's not what I mean.
You have communication issues. By the way, that's my next point. The greenest green flag is a person who can communicate, because what are you doing with a person who cannot communicate? A person who runs away from issues, a person who difficult conversations cannot be held because they're always a person who times to have conversations, they want you to be silent. By the way, a person who can a few days ago, that was yesterday, I think, I saw a video. I should have sent it to you. I saw a video of a guy, I think it was a Kenyan page, of a guy who he was sending a voice note. It was a reel. The girl made the reel, and the reel, she was saying she went out without telling her boyfriend, okay, and the guy was sending a voice note to the girl that I'm gonna be in your business. we're in a relationship and I'm gonna be in your business and you are going to have to tell me stuff. Like, and to me that was nice actually. I agreed with the guy because like you have to communicate. In short, people who do not communicate, why are you even in a relationship with a person who doesn't communicate? Cisco, you can go next.
So my communication point is literally taken out. Okay.
Oh,
Yeah, I had one. I had one.
okay.
I had one. I had one. So this is something I wrote, but it's a long shot. I'm not speaking of this from any personal space, but I think it is something people will need. If you find a person who can learn to be vulnerable, that's the first thing. Two, if they can contain vulnerability when it is presented to them. Those are two different things, but
the
it's a
second one
law.
is strong.
Yeah.
The
So
second one is really strong.
I think people who can't contain vulnerability
You know, there are
are
people
teaching
who,
people not to be vulnerable. And then it's a full cycle.
yeah,
Yeah.
There are women who are uncomfortable with vulnerable men. They say, "Oh, I want my man." I have a point like that. Emotionally available.
Yeah.
Yeah, like there are women who say, "I want my man to communicate. I want him to tell me stuff. I want him to be able to break down to me." But when the man does it, they're like, he's mumama. I've had people say that. Yeah.
This is what men are silently battling.
Yeah. I think, but now the narrative is actually changing.
It's not.
It's changing.
It's not.
There's more talk on mental health on men and allowing men to be able to communicate.
Ah man, I don't know. It's gonna be a while.
I
It's
think
gonna be
we're
a
gonna
while.
get there. I think we should have a conversation on mental health on men.
It's going to be a while.
Yeah, cause
It's going to be a while because every movement I have seen, every feminism, if it is this new I'm not gonna say shit. Everyone I've seen, it just requires people who are extremely convinced. And the conversation about men, I don't know who started pushing it, if this mental health issues about men, but I'm sure men have been right there in the beginning. And these men are not getting the support from so many men who are around. Like the people who are doing this thing, who are running podcasts, who are running initiatives about mental health in men. There are men in there organized in small groups. It's not something popular. You see, feminism got so popular because men have been pushing the agenda with women. Okay, and there is a difference between accepting an agenda and pushing an agenda, or being aware. So I feel like many women are aware of these mental health issues in men, but to own it, to push it. I'm not saying so many women who are not in men's spaces saying, men, what should you do to, support this mental health thing everywhere? Because feminism required us to be aware of what women are going through, and then it required us to care.
But I've seen a lot of like campaigns on, especially they compare it with like the suicide rate of men compared to women, and due to the fact that they're not communicating their issues, the hypertension rate of men compared to women. I've seen these researches. Maybe I look for them.
No, they do exist because I've come across them. But there is a distance between the population that is actually dying and the statistics. There's a very because it's one thing to say 70% of men, let's say, kill themselves because, and we assume it's because people are not actually communicating. And then there's a difference if we can come back and have this people communicate. That safety is really not there.
Yeah,
It's very hard to actually
we
create.
do have a long way to go. Yeah.
It's a long way to go. Women support themselves. It is raw. It is very cool. We are not finding that apt support from even the men we are living with.
Yeah, that's another thing. You people are not having that. Even to have vulnerable conversations amongst yourself is an issue.
It is. It is.
Yeah, even in a family level, like a father and a son, it's an issue.
it is easier to
Yeah.
to repeat
I
what
am
you're
so
saying.
changing that narrative in my family. I am getting an emotionally available man who will have emotional conversations with his son. Mm,
Good luck to that.
mm.
Anyway, for men, and this is green flags to ladies, but I don't know where the line is actually drawn on this, but it is very strong with women. It is a green flag if she has a good relationship with her parents. And I'm not saying if her parents have a good relationship with her. There's a difference. There's a difference. There's a difference.
Oh my God.
Understand where I'm coming from. There's a difference.
What if she's from
The relationship her parents have with her is what the parents are putting in the home. The relationship she has with her parents, it's what she's taking from her home, and she will bring it to yours. I close my case.
I don't know. I don't know what
It
to
is
say about that.
it is just a plus if she has a good relationship with her parents, especially with her father.
Especially with her father.
Especially with her father, because her father models how she's going to view men out here. Either
But mommy
away,
issues are also real.
either away or towards. Mommy issues are
Also real.
where? Where? I'm not even.
Daddy issues, mommy.
This is the
I
first
don't
time.
know.
Mommy issues where?
Honestly, it is important a person enter a relationship especially particularly in this case, let's talk about a marriage, healed, literally healed. They should not be carrying baggages of previous relationships. They should not be carrying shits of previous relationships. By shits I mean like bed sheets. Yes, literally. And then they should not be carrying baggages with their parents, which you know, the thing is, people have lived with their parents for about 20 to 25 years.
Especially women.
Yeah,
The
particularly
men are
women.
out by that time.
Yeah.
But how much of
That one is a
hypothesis is
really
that?
tricky one.
Have you ever had a relationship with a person and
They're not trying to have a relationship with you.
I have.
Now assume that in the context of parents. It's hard. It's even harder because these are grown people who have beliefs. They're already structured in their certain beliefs. As not it's particularly African parents, Asian parents, they're not that open to change and acceptance. And I don't think I would. Maybe I would say like a person who is not like angry at them, you know, or is not blaming them, because seriously, you're grown up now. Make your own. Like, yeah, you can change your life. You can't keep blaming your parents. Yeah, but a good relationship, not everybody is privileged with that. I think that's just one of those privileges. I don't know. I would not agree with that. But to each their own. I would really not. Oh, no. To each their own, though. Anyway.
Our homes, whether they make us or they break us, they still constitute us.
That is the thing. If a person has come from a broken home or a dysfunctional home and has put in an effort to change the narrative, she has gone to therapy, she has worked on herself, she has communicated with God and asked the Holy Spirit to transform her to become a better person, I cannot blame them because they don't have a good relationship with their parents. Maybe they're in a cordial relationship, but they're sending them money, they call them, but ile a reciprocancy, now their parents are accepting them for who they are. Parents, African parents. No, I'm not gonna judge someone for their parents.
And also, so when I say someone is having a good relationship with their parents, a part of you knowing that this is not a good situation and I have to change from it, but you're not looping the bad things back to them, because that's not helping. You could have used that energy to change so you can move forward. That's a good thing, because it is negative if you are constantly affiliating with things that are negative, that are considered a bad relationship. So it needs you to be aware that this is not something that I want personally. This is toxic. This is terrible. I'm leaving this behind. That is what it means to be good.
Yeah.
Not that you're all up with them and they do shit, but you're just okay. My parents did this, or just repeat it. That's horrible. Being good is that.
Maybe if you put it like that.
Yeah.
I thought when you said a good relationship with their parents, I mean people who they go for holidays to their parents' place, they communicate, they're always calling each other, they're always sending each other gifts. You know those people who are there are people who you look at the relationship with their parents and they're like, wow. Wow. Yes, but there are others, they just didn't get the luck to have that. Yeah, and not everybody gets the luck to have that, honestly. So
Yeah.
I would not say that having, but if you get, honestly, if you get people who have been raised and nurtured well with their parents, you're very lucky, because there's little to work on.
Yeah.
There's little, unlike a person who has come from traumas, dysfunctional families. Now they have to constantly repeated patterns. Whew.
I think so many families are dysfunctional.
Yeah.
So many. But anyway.
Yeah, let's get to green flags.
Let's leave those behind.
Yeah. I have another one. A
Mm.
person who is not afraid to commit. This is particularly to guys. I think I spoke on red flags the previous time. A person who is like in a relationship context.
Yeah.
For guys who are always running away from commitment and they just want to be non-committal. Siko about to kujitetea.
No, I'm not sure how it works.
Yeah, that normally is not very nice. So a person who is like okay with, like, when a time they found a person and he or she is a good person, they're ready to settle down. Yeah, that's a green flag. Not a person who is always on the move. Always, yeah. Yeah, next.
Anyway, okay, oh my god. This point, I'm not even sure I should say it.
Go ahead.
Okay, but this is personal for me. So lately, I have developed an interest in making meals. Okay, and I do, but if others don't, I do. I'm working on myself.
Please don't say a woman who can cook.
I'm about to say that. So
I'm about to leave. I'm about to leave.
No. Relax. Does a man not cook? Does he fall into a good category, like a green flag? Say yes or no.
It is, but it's not something I would. I pray for a man who cooks, guys, and I will get a man who cooks.
Thank you.
Hear me.
No.
But it's not something that most women consider a what? Like that. Like, if this man can't cook, there's no way this is gonna work. But for men, it's like one of those, if she can't cook, I can't do this. And cooking is a life skill, people. Why can't men just learn how to cook?
Cooking is a life skill. Making money is a life skill.
Yes.
Managing a house, it's a life skill. When you get in a context of a relationship, we need someone to do something. We don't like it when we cook, and by the way, my women will enjoy.
Oh, that is hot, guys. A man who can cook is hot.
I will cook, and
I was watching a Korean movie yesterday. The guy was cooking, and I was like, eh.
Good food, it's policy. Everything goes to shit. Good food is policy. But I am cooking in the house, and I'm cooking good meals, cuisines. You know, we're not going to any kind of restaurant unless we want to try new food.
No, you can't, food.
And you can't.
Would you be okay to be in a relationship with a person who the cooking is 50-50?
Cool, because mine is gonna go more. If she
50-50 in terms of, not like in terms of days. That's what I mean.
tens of days.
Yes, I'm cooking from Monday to Wednesday.
What are we in boarding school? Oh come, I don't mind cooking, but don't tell me 3 days a week. I'm not doing that. I am not
Even my
doing
father
that.
can cook. Even my father can cook.
But
But it's cooking once a year.
Thank you.
What?
That's when I'll cook. Once a year.
But when a woman says she wants to cook once a year, it's an issue. Guys,
Of course it's an issue. Of course it's an issue.
before we enter into this zone of me and Cisco arguing about when men / women's roles, let's not just do this. We are staying positive this episode. We are doing green flags. Let me go to the next one.
Cook. I say, cook better than me. And more frequently.
Okay. Next point is a person who can admit that they're wrong and be able to apologize. By the way, people should be told how to apologize. Apologizing comes with admitting your mistake, saying I'm sorry, and saying how you will work on it. Not, oh, but I didn't know you're sensitive. I'm sorry. Oh, I didn't know that would hurt you. I'm sorry. Do you know those kind of people, yeah, that apologize in that context? Oh God. It's like, no, that's not an apology. So a person who can accept, hey, especially for men, but men do apologize, but like admitting that they're wrong and genuinely working on it.
As I am growing,
That's a green flag.
as I am growing my feet longer, for me, for most people to apologize, they start walking opposite to the direction of the growth of their ego.
Okay.
You know?
Yeah.
Yes. So I have to say this is something I did, and I'm looking at you, and what I did has affected you in a certain way. I am not too proud to put myself in a level where I can allow you to feel some sort of relief, you know? Me having that kind of understanding, forgiveness and apologies, I had tad bit of a privilege. Tad bit. Because the person who is being apologized to doesn't have to do shit. You know, it says like you feel like if someone does you wrong, and that's listen, you have to just wait for someone to like come and apologize for what they actually did. And I've realized that people who are getting apologized to and those who are apologizing, they all affect each other. Because I've been in an end where someone is apologizing to me and I've made it hard for them also. I have.
Oh, okay.
I have, and I understand that. So
I think it was my grandfather who once told me this, that being able to, I think we were talking about relationships.
yeah.
That man is wise. Anyway, that being able to put yourself in a position that you are like that somebody can apologize to you because you have an upper hand when you have been wrong.
Yeah, true.
So extending that grace, and there are people who also put themselves in a way that it's more difficult to apologize to them.
Exactly.
It's something that you should really learn in a relationship, especially if you're the one that has been wronged. Allow room for somebody to be able to apologize to you.
If there is a certain way you want your apology to be communicated before, I'm just saying, because there just isn't one way, you know, because I'm supposed to get to those bars, because if I really care about someone, I want them to not only know that I'm sorry, but I want them to feel it, because the pain was also real. The thing, so I want to be properly, just sometimes communicate earlier before you quarrel, before you cross each other. Communicate that. For me, I feel like an apology should be 1 to 3. Because just because it's genuine for me doesn't mean it feels genuine to you, and you think, oh, this person doesn't really, you know. So
communicate.
Communicate.
Yeah, there's a lot. There should be like there's a lot of things that should be communicated while courting in a relationship. Oh, these things. And then people are out here doing things which they could have done in marriage and not communicating these important issues. Like, hey.
Personally, I have no problem apologizing, but I'm reading too many signals. I've once apologized to someone who never thought I would, and it was at work. It was at work.
We need to talk about your work environment.
Okay, it was at work, and they had just gotten in, and they were working under me, 2 positions, and I was involved in a situation where it felt like I did something that was unfair. I didn't have to apologize to them. I didn't have to, but I thought, I don't think this is. I want these people to feel like this because they just got in. And so I didn't know them by then, so I sat down and I apologized to them, and I see the shock in their eyes. They're like, "This nigga serious," and I did. It was a big. I don't feel great, but it's not a biggie. You know, if I did something wrong, I did something wrong. But now, so basically, people just affect. No, it's so easy to ask God for forgiveness because he affects that whole environment. You know, and the lack of judgment. I'm not saying this is like God is throwing around like second chances, but if you do apologize, He's ready. You know, if you repent and you change your mind, He's ready.
The readiness, yeah.
So, man, people who are getting apologies to make it extremely hard because now it has become this whole ritual. You're supposed to apologize to someone in ways that you don't even know, but if they communicate that earlier, I think it's better.
Yeah, do you have any other point? I have one last one.
You have one last?
Yeah.
Give one last, and if I think of something that is not
Okay.
cooking, I'll say it.
My last green flag is a person who is teachable. Hey, especially with men. Hey.
Wait, teachable men?
Yes, men have this. I think it's because of their ego that they feel like they should just know more than women. So it is what it is, man. It is what it is, especially in the context of a marriage. Since he's a leader, you still can learn something from somebody else. You can learn from your children. By the way, the best parenting trick is to remain teachable, even when you're 50, even when you're 60, because times change. You have to remain teachable. Teachable.
We live in an environment where we think you can teach people anything.
Yes, that is the problem now. A person who is not teachable in a relationship, a person who is not open to new ways of living, a person who is not open to new strategies of dealing with things, hey, after sometimes the other way might be better than what you know. You know, sometimes you may know something, you may actually genuinely know something, but you haven't tried this other way that this person is. There was a time I was washing dishes, literally, it's just as normal as washing dishes, and then my cousin younger sister, she's small, showed me some other trick of washing dishes that was actually easier and better. And if, by the way, I chose not to listen to her because she's young, what does she know, I would have not learned an easy. In short, if a person is not teachable, I don't think you're going to go anywhere, because every single time you're going to propose to him a certain good idea, he's going to be like, but I know this is better, but I know this is better, and you're always going to be in an argument. Oh, let's try this out, it could be nice. A rigid person.
Okay.
You need a flexible human being who is, even with the cultures and the ways that their home he has been raised, he can try new things, because you have been raised from different families, so you are coming with different concepts of different things. Kwamba sisi, we used to do this thing this way, and then you're coming and proposing something else, and if this person is so rigid, no, this is the way we used to do things, this is how it should be done. Most African parents
you're about to be an African parent, so
yes, this is the way it should be done. Oh, but my parents used to. Of course, there are certain things that should stay the way they were,
yeah,
but
I don't know which things, but
we
yes,
should really be open to new things. And if a person is not teachable, a person is not flexible, a person is constantly rigid, that's a red flag. A teachable person is a green flag. So that's it for me.
My God, there is a lot. There is just a lot. But again, I think in the point of being teachable, there are people who I don't know if they just don't bend towards being teachable because they have not been teachable before. But for those who won't have external push to be teachable, I think it is a very great green flag if they are teaching themselves also.
First of all, a non-teachable person will not even learn from the Holy Spirit.
Where's the time?
Much no issues. This person is not, in short, a humble person. You know, the person who is not humble.
Humble, not humbled.
Yeah,
Humble.
humble.
Hey.
Humility. A person needs humility. A person who is not humble, they cannot even learn from the Holy Spirit. Now imagine, that person is just, it's a no. I think we end here for today, yeah?
Yeah, but this last bit was supposed to go to men so much. The teachable parts.
Yeah,
Yeah. Our problem is we think we know so much.
That is a huge problem.
It's a
And
huge
you
problem.
admitting it is brave.
Guys, ignorance is not doesn't have gender, and because we I don't know.
Most women are so open to learning.
True, and one of the best settings where men can be themselves and women can be themselves is when men are teaching. Yeah, but the problem is content is
You know, there's
important.
this person. I remember I was
quality.
speaking to somebody a few days ago about marriage, and they were telling me men have an issue of not listening unless they're listening from other men. And in a marriage, actually, I once also listened to a sermon. I think it was Pastor Mildred, and she was saying she was having, oh God, I don't want to quote her wrongly. I don't remember exactly what she said, but the context was like she was having trouble with communicating with her husband because she might be telling him something, okay, and he's not hearing it. He's not hearing it at all. And then she decides, you know what? I'm just gonna pray. She goes to pray, and then that man hears it from maybe a pastor or somebody else, another man. It has to be a man.
Yeah, that's the man.
And he comes back home and he's like, you know, this man told me this and this, and then the woman is like,
I was telling you.
I've been saying that.
Actually,
yeah, men have issues, and men have issues.
This is
I don't
why
know why. I think
is
that should be addressed.
It's not a problem actually. No, true story. It's not. It's not. It's not. It's just in that context, the woman feels like she's not being heard. But for us, it's quite something if we hear it from another man. I'm just
this
saying.
is what feminism is fighting about.
No.
Now imagine in a work environment.
No.
You know this. We can cut slack on this.
In a work environment, it has to be regulated because work is work.
Sasa now women are facing that even in a work environment. Unakuta they are in front presenting a concept. Unaona? And the men in the board are just looking at her, and then a man rises and says the same exact thing the woman has been trying to make people grasp, and the men now, the fellow men are like, oh yeah, they agree with him now.
But
imagine how that makes you feel.
I have seen this before. Okay, like in this setting, like this. Okay,
yeah.
You might be telling me something, and it's not real, and this man says it in a certain way. I get it. Okay. It is not because I'm not hearing you.
I think it's...
But sometimes, no, because women are like this. I talk to a man, he doesn't get me. I tell his friend to tell him, he gets it. Instead of you thinking, am I communicating in ways this thing can actually listen?
God.
You see, that is actually something that is very real for us. We have listened to our mother, man, because I'm not saying that doesn't happen. Okay? And I just don't want women to take it like that in every context. So, but again, men are very affected by other figures who are male. See, idols. Okay.
Women, look out for that. If a man is full of pride, he cannot hear you. He cannot listen.
How do you know that's pride?
It's pride, man. It's pride. If you're not humble enough to hear, even if it's from a woman,
We hear you.
you don't.
I'm not grasping what is coming.
You know.
But again, I think this should be. Is it a communication issue? Is it a pride issue?
I think most of the time it's a pride issue. This really happens in a lot of families, you know, even in workplaces, even in context of leadership. I've been a leader, and this has happened to me a lot. I've been a leader. I was once no, I don't want to share this, but I was once like a leader in a place I was
Yeah.
studying,
Yeah.
a huge leader, and the president, I was the prime minister, yeah? And the president and the vice would sit and discuss something, yeah, and I'd say something, and it would just, and then that vice president would say the same exact thing,
Call it out.
and then now the president would be like, yeah, yeah, and then I'd look at
Oh, that shit.
you. You
That's-
see how
that's-
annoying
that
you
shit.
see how annoying it
That
can
is
get,
shit.
yeah,
That is shit.
yeah. So
That is shit, man.
honestly, this a teachable man is like very important, even in the context of the family, because if he's not willing to learn, he's not willing to listen and learn from you or from his kids, you're not gonna go anywhere.
But now, in a context of family, it's just different now already.
If a person is the leader, it does not mean that he cannot hear
True story. True story.
and he cannot listen
So we have to
and he cannot learn,
We have to
because no
take-
one is all-knowing except God.
good. Okay, fine. Good is. But we have to take into account, you know, how I am being talked to by my mother, by a lady friend, by my wife is supposed to be different. It doesn't matter how attuned I am to listening, to growing, to leading. It just has to be different because these contexts are different. If people have to be taken into account,